Hey everybody, hope that you're doing well, that you are enduring the cold and the snow and not getting too crazed at being in the home, that maybe you're able to get out a little bit. I know the weekend is supposed to get cold and warm and maybe icy, but I heard next week we're supposed to have a day that gets up into the 40s, so we can get out and maybe play a little bit in the snow. Just thinking. Hey, we are in John chapter 3 today. We talked a little bit about chapter 2, and today I want to get into chapter 3 because we're going to spend a couple of days on chapter 3. Chapter 3 begins with a story about a ruler from the Jewish people, a guy named Nicodemus, who comes to Jesus. And he says to Jesus, Rabbi, we know that you are a teacher who's come from God. For no one can do the signs that you do unless God is with him. And Jesus said, truly, truly, I say to you, unless one is born again, he cannot see the kingdom of God. And right there, Nicodemus struggled. Well, what do you mean? Nicodemus comes to Jesus. Number one, he comes to him at night. So it's in the darkness when he comes to him. And that's a metaphor as well for someone who is spiritually dark, for someone who is without the light, as we could say, who is without Christ. And so Nicodemus comes to Jesus, and Jesus tells Nicodemus, unless one is born again, he can't see the kingdom of God. And Nicodemus is confused. He's like, born again? How am I going to get born again? And Jesus talks about the fact that you need to be born about a spiritual rebirth. And that is so true for us. Think about, I was really thinking about this over the last day or so as I was preparing for this. And we think about the ebb and flow of life and those times where we're kind of on a spiritual high, where we feel we're on a mountaintop, and other times where we feel like we're in the valley. And that's a time when we need to look to God and we need to be drawing closer to him and experiencing his power and his grace. And those rebirths occur, I believe, all the time in our lives. We have that one moment when we say yes to Jesus. It could be when you're 5 years old, 10 years old, 30 years old, 70 years old. It doesn't matter when. We have that born again experience, or that first moment when we can actually say to ourselves, yes, I believe. But then I believe in life we go through all these highs and lows. And sometimes we have to have that rebirth. Not that we ever lost Christ, but we have to kind of hit ourselves. Wait a minute. Jesus has never left me. Wait a minute. I'm not going through this valley alone. Oh, wow. Jesus is with me. The Spirit of God is with me. Oh, really? The Father calls me his child? That he died for me? Really? Even me? Even with all of my sin? And those to me are the little rebirths we have along the way. And so as Nicodemus questioned and wondered and tried to figure it all out, I hope that whatever we go through, whatever we're going through on our given days, the highs and the lows, that it's okay. It's okay because Jesus has promised us he will always be there for us. He is not going to abandon us. He is not going to fail us. He is not going to forsake us. That's what we talked about a couple of weeks ago when we looked at God's omnipresence. That's the amazing attribute that God is always with us. We can't go anywhere. We can't hide. We can't run. He is with us all the time. So I want to encourage you. Maybe you're going through a downtime. Maybe you're struggling. You're wondering where God is. It's time for a rebirth. It's time just to step back and say, okay, Lord, help me to know that you're here. Help me to know you. Help me to trust you. Help me to follow you. Help me to experience your grace and your mercy and your love and your encouragement. Whatever you're going through, whatever it is, he's with you. He loves you. You're his child. Have a great day. God bless you.